Here is a beautiful, easy, three-dimensional, super textural, slightly nubby, cozy, double and treble crochet stitch variation called the ripple stitch. And you can see why it's called the ripple stitch because it's ripply. It would make for a beautiful and warm fall or winter crochet project. I think it would look great in a blanket or a sweater. If you already know how to double and treble crochet, this is going to be so easy. Let's get started. You can make this stitch pattern in any yarn as small or as large as you like. To start, we are going to do a foundation chain. Your chain can be as long as you want. For the sake of this sample, we are going to do 20. To start the first row, we are going to chain 3. That will count as if it is the first double crochet in the first row. Obviously, it's not a double crochet, but we'll count it as if it is one, sort of like a placeholder. We are going to double crochet in the 4th chain from your hook. I am working into the back bumps, but you should feel free to work into the chains if you prefer. And we are going to double crochet all the way across for the first row in this stitch pattern. I will see you at the end of the row. At the end of the first row of just double crochets, you should have something that looks a little bit like this. For the second row, we are going to chain 1, and we are going to turn our work. Now we're going to work a row of single crochets all the way across in between each row of double and treble crochets. We are going to work a row of single crochet. So you will see this happen every other row. So we're going to single crochet all the way across this row, and I will see you at the end of row 2. At the end of row 2, you should have something that looks a little bit like this. So we have a row of double crochets and a row of single crochets. To start the third row, which is the first repeat row, we're going to turn our work. And to start this row, you can either chain 3 or you can stack 2 single crochets, which is what I'm going to do just to keep the edges straight. To stack 2 single crochets, you make a single crochet and then you go into that left side bar of the single crochet and you place another single crochet right on top. In the next stitch, we're going to place a double crochet. And in the next stitch, we are going to place a treble crochet, but we're going to go around the first row's double crochet post. So we're going to work all the way down back into that first row we just did, front post treble crochet. So yarn over twice, insert your hook behind that post, 2 rows down, pull up a little bit so it doesn't get too scrunched, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. It should look something like this. In the next stitch, we are going to place a double crochet right into the top of the stitch from the previous row. And in the following stitch, we are going to front post treble crochet again all the way back down into that first row of double crochets we made. So yarn over twice, go around that post all the way in the first row, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. This is where that beautiful ripply texture comes from. And it starts to look even better as we do more rows, and you'll see we're going to start alternating. So in the next stitch, we're going to place a double crochet right into the top of the stitch in the previous row. And for the next stitch, we are going to treble crochet around the post 2 rows back in that first row of double crochet. So yarn over twice, insert your hook behind that double crochet post, 2 rows back, yarn over, pull around the post, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. In the next stitch, double crochet into the top of the stitch in the previous row. In the following stitch, we're going to go around from the front post, treble crochet, but all the way down in that first row of double crochets we made, so yarn over twice, go around that post, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. Should be looking a little bit like this. I think this stitch looks extra pretty in a variegated yarn, and I had some of this cotton acrylic yarn from Karen left over, so I thought I would use it. We're going to continue the row the same way, alternating a double crochet in the previous row and a front post treble crochet, dropping all the way down to that first row. Next, a double crochet in the next stitch in the previous row, then a front post treble crochet all the way down into that first row of double crochets we made. And we're going to finish out the row just like that. Double crochet into the next stitch, front post treble crochet all the way down 2 rows back, double crochet in the next stitch, treble crochet, front post all the way down 2 rows back, double crochet in the next stitch, treble crochet, front post 2 rows down, double crochet in the next stitch, treble crochet around the front post 2 rows back, and double crochet into the last stitch of your row. Of course, if your row is longer than 20 stitches, keep going until the very end. And at the end of your first stitch pattern repeat row, you should have something that looks a little bit like this. For the next row, we are going to chain 1 and turn our work, and this will be another row of single crochets all the way across. So we're going to single crochet into every stitch all the way across. This helps create a little bit of shape and a little bit of a framework for the stitch, so it still feels pretty solid and that there's a defined frame and shape, a little bit of structure, I guess. I will see you at the end of this single crochet row. At the end of your single crochet row, we are working on the back side, so it's technically the wrong side, though I don't think there's anything wrong with this side. It just looks different. This is what it should look like. For the next row, we're going to turn our work. We're back on the textural side, and again, you can start this row either with a chain 3 to represent a double crochet, or I'm going to start with 2 stacked single crochets. I just like the structure that this gives the row. Now, to know what to do next, just look 2 rows down, and every time you see a regular double crochet like we have in our next stitch, we're going to treble crochet around that as a post. So we're dropping down 2 rows and treble crochet around that front post. And if the stitch 2 rows down is a treble crochet, we're going to put a double crochet into the stitch in the previous row. So we're just doing whatever is the opposite of what's happening 2 rows down, right below the row of single crochets you just did. So the next stitch, 2 rows down for me, is a regular double crochet. So we're going to treble crochet around that front post. The next stitch I see is a treble crochet, so we're going to double crochet on top of that stitch. The next stitch is a double crochet, so we're going to treble crochet around that front post. The next stitch, 2 rows down, is a treble, so I'm going to place a double crochet. The following stitch is a double crochet, so we're going to place a treble crochet around that front post. And we're going to repeat that all the way down until the end. So the next stitch is a treble, so we're going to place a double crochet in the stitch in the previous row. The following is a double crochet, so we're going to treble crochet around that as a front post. The next one is a treble, so we're going to double crochet into the stitch from the previous row. The next one is a double, so we're going to treble crochet around it. I will meet you at the end of the row. So after your third repeat row, you should have something that looks a little bit like this. Let's take a closer look. So you can see the ripple comes from alternating that front post treble crochet and dropping down 2 rows so you get that beautiful nubby texture. And the larger you work these samples or your projects, the more dramatic that texture will be. That's it for the ripple stitch tutorial. Thank you so much for watching. Please like and subscribe, and I will see you in the next video.